Mexican OT is getting called out for a response to a question on Angela Yee's Lip Service podcast, where he was asked if he could say the N-word. And OT, well, he did not mince his words.
Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black dudes in here. What the are you gonna do about it, you know?
OT is trending on TikTok, where fans and haters are coming out of the woodworks to voice their opinions on what he said. The most prominent of which is OT's Texas colleague, Sauce Walker.
OT, you know, using a room full of violent, from Houston full of violent, like myself.
Now, OT definitely made some controversial comments, but instead of just serving up the clips without context to sensationalize the worst parts of what he said, let's take a look at everything from the start so we can get a nuanced understanding of what happened here. First, interestingly enough, those viral clips from OT's stance on the N-word were couched in a greater conversation about how people these days fear cancellation. And ironically, OT very confidently said he could never be canceled.
Are you scared of ever getting canceled? Like, do you feel like...
No, I'm not. I don't think I can get canceled.
Okay.
But I can't get canceled because I didn't sell my music. I sold me.
Right.
And
it's what come with it.
And these people know who the f*** I am, and they love me, and they appreciate me. And that's why I can go and jump off a bridge and eat a shit, and they gonna love it. So like,
yeah,
I ain't going nowhere, cousin.
Famous last words. So then OT was asked if, because of his upbringing, he can say the N-word. And well, he kinda jumped off a bridge and ate a bowl of doo-doo.
You're from the South, obviously you grew up a different kind of way, and you're a rapper too. Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black dudes in here.
There are.
What the f*** are you gonna do about it, you know? And then second of all, I grew up loving these. I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up doing bad shit with them. I grew up loving with them.
Of course, this part got clipped up and swaths of people are mad. Not so much that OT drops N-bombs, hella vatos be doing that, but more because he said, what are you gonna do about it? Now, nobody was more vocal on this than another Texas rapper, Sauce Walker, who took to the gram to dish on the nuances of where exactly OT crossed the line.
I ain't fucked up with you about saying, can you say because you grew up with us, went through all this with us, you love us, you been through everything that nigga been through, so that's why you say you can say. The problem and the issue is the fact when you say in a room full of women, if anybody well, if you, all right, well, if it is, what you gonna do about it? That's where you up at, brother. That's where the disrespect is. Because OT, you know, using a room full of violent, from Houston full of violent, like myself, TSF, is really from the H like that, and we was having that conversation, you said it in that way. Y'all said, because what's gonna do about it? There would have been 6 niggas in the room raising their hands saying they want to fight you. You know that.
So yeah, clearly it's the challenge in how OT said it that's upsetting people. He's really put his I can't be canceled theory to the test, because now even close friends of his are bailing. This one guy saying he lost a lot of respect for OT, prompting OT to apologize and post it. In his apology, he says it wasn't really about the word, it was more about standing for his beliefs. Now, it's definitely fair for people to feel how they want to feel about what OT said, but it does seem like the broader point he was trying to make is that cancel culture and being checked for saying a word does not fly in his hood. Like, if you want to check someone for their language, sure, that might work on some dandy city liberal, but it's not gonna work with blue-collar hood dudes who see their freedom to speak in any way they want as a point of pride that they've earned. And if you're gonna check them, you better be prepared to throw hands, or at least bicker.
Yeah, I remember being disrespectful, like, where I'm from, because, like, I remember a lot of blacks and Mexicans wasn't getting along where we was for a little minute.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, you know, and then me being just who I was mean, bro. I used to just look for it, you know. That's why all I want to do is love now, you know. I like being a good person. I respect people that they feel that way, and that's why I try to shut the fuck up about it.
Right.
But if you're from where I'm from, or anywhere, what the fuck are you going to do about it, you know? It's like I don't went to the jungle and earned the lion's head, you know, and I'll dominate anywhere. And
So
I'm not saying I'm out here to because I've taken whoopings, but you will respect me the same way I respect you.
Now, while I don't think he made this point particularly eloquently in the initial clips, I think he eventually fleshes it out and it's a valid point. So valid, in fact, that even Sauce Walker got what he was trying to say. On a podcast later, Sauce agreed that, just like OT, who might drop an N-bomb every now and again and get an attitude if you check him on it, he uses Mexican slang. And if anyone checks him on it, well, they might just have to throw hands.
Guess what? The same way how OT's saying it, that's my little brother, that's my nigga. Yeah. Guess what? I say vato in same way and whatever else under the sun. I feel the same way how you feel as well. Like, I'm gonna use it always in a form of love, but at the same time, if a call me out or somebody call me out about that, hold on, you can't say vato with with the whoop, and then want to look at me behind that, I'm gonna squabble you. We gonna live and fight and die, whatever. Live, fight, die, whatever it is. That's what we gonna do, because that's what it is to be a warrior. That's what it is to be a man.
Sauce would actually go on to criticize the podcast for asking clickbait questions and then clipping it up. What do you think though? Did OT jump off a bridge and eat a bowl of caca, or is this blown out of proportion?